So earlier today, Rob Demovsky, ESPN reporter, put out an article, and in this article, he spoke with Darnell Savage's agent, and I want to share what Darnell Savage's agent had to share. And right now, Savage is on pace, expected to become a free agent. Last week, he was one of 3 Packers players whose contract voided, which left a $5,456,800 dead cap hit, which will count against the Packers' 2024 cap. If the Packers had wanted to extend Savage, if they had done the extension before that deadline a week or two back, they could have reduced that dead cap hit. And so because they didn't decide to extend him before that deadline, it seems like he probably won't be back in Green Bay. I think in his 5 years here in Green Bay, he's been pretty inconsistent, was a little bit better this past season. He's okay in coverage, pretty bad tackler overall. Last season was 87th among safeties and missed tackle percentage at 17.3%. And if we look at his PFF coverage grade last season, it was 71st among safeties. So right now the Packers have not brought him back. But here's what his agent had to say. This is from the Rob Demovsky article. Darnell loved his time in Green Bay, and we remain optimistic that a deal can get done before the league year. Seth Katz, Savage's agent, told ESPN. But realistically, the window for free agent communication is around the corner, and there will be significant interest in Darnell. So he's sounding like they're optimistic that maybe they can get a deal done with Green Bay. And, when you look at that dead cap hit at $5.45-ish million, you would have thought the Packers would have gotten a deal done already if they wanted him back. But the agent sounds optimistic. Maybe they'll get into some kind of communication with the Packers and see if they can find a number that makes sense. But Rob Demovsky also added at the end of this article, he said, however, at this point, there have been no negotiations between Savage and the Packers. So up to this point, per Demovsky, the Packers and Savage have not been in communication regarding negotiations. So it's looking like all signs are pointing to Savage leaving, which means the Packers will have to bring in some other safeties because right now, Anthony Johnson Jr., one of the only safeties on this Packers roster, signed for next season, among a few other lower tier guys. Also, Rudy Ford going to be a free agent, as well as Jonathan Owens. And so I'm guessing the Packers are going to sign a free agent safety and probably draft one somewhat high in this upcoming draft. And I'll probably put out some videos in the next week or two breaking down some safeties, some free agent safeties. And then also in this article, Demovsky says this: one league source who has analyzed the free agent market estimated that Savage would be the highest priced player among the Packers' free agent class this season, estimating he would garner a deal with an annual average between $5 million and $7 million. Savage has some tangential connection to new Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley. One of Hafley's defensive assistants at Boston College was Azair Abdul-Rahim, who was Savage's position coach at the University of Maryland. In fact, Abdul-Rahim and Savage talked to Boston College safeties via Zoom calls the previous 2 seasons. So it looks like Savage will probably get between $5 and $7 million, which isn't a crazy amount of money, but at the same time, the Packers may want to go a different direction. And interesting connection with, one of Hafley's former, coaching assistants. So I don't know if we'll get to this free agency period and maybe the Packers and Savage come to some kind of agreement. Feels like it would have happened by now. But we still have a few more weeks. Maybe something changes, but that's pretty much the update for right now. If you guys want more Packers content, Packers news, feel free to subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time.